Hello everyone, and welcome back to Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. Yes, we're going to be continuing on the shiny hunt today for the one and only Cyndaquil, which is going to be a Q. Because yes, this hunt is going on for a long time. But how is everyone doing? So yeah, I'm pretty much starting off everything now with just doing an egg power sandwich to start off, and then when we get about 30 minutes in, then I just refresh it. So, let's get hatching with all of these eggs. But how are you doing that, dude? Hope you're doing well. Everything's going pretty good with the audio. Let's go. But yeah, so how's everyone doing tonight? Preparing stuff for the Streamer Gym Leader Challenge, finishing, I'm sort of helping the others, like, still figure out with their teams and, like, you know, helping them build their stuff, because sometimes people do need a little bit of assistance when it comes to preparing things, and I am helping with that. But we're switching gears to go be shiny hunting now. So how's everyone doing though? Doesn't count here. Here we go. Yet, how has everybody been doing now? Hope everybody is doing well. So I know I am. Channel has been doing extremely well as of late. YouTube has seemed to be like, okay, we actually are not being a jerk to you anymore. So that's good. Videos have been doing a lot better. There we go, the eggs are now hatching, so we have... So we would need... Yeah, 9... Wait. 720... 80... Oh, 900, right, 900, that's what it is. Howdy. Nice, black, red. Very nice. I love the Quake Coco family. But how are you doing, Nafy? Can one of the mods please go grab Nafy's link? How are you doing today? Welcome in Cactus Coop as well. Yeah, how is everybody doing today? Hope you guys are doing delightful. I know I am. Yeah, we're slowly working our way to hitting odds on this thing. I'm doing very well. Helping one of the Streamer Gym Leader Challenge Elite Four members finishing their team out, because basically had to help them build everything, you know, get all of the necessary vitamins and everything, because those who don't know, I had like several million Pokédollars in the game from how many times I just mass grind through the Academy Ace tournament, and just bought out a whole bunch of vitamins, and just slap those into the things, and boom, team is ready. Can't get shiny Among Us. Yikes. Yeah, that's what I'm going to be breeding for. I have just come to the realization that there are certain shinies it's not worth doing an overworld hunt for. It's better just to Masuda them. And my goal is, like, okay, that is on my list. Amoonguss and Foongus are on the Masuda hunt list for when it just comes to Masuda hunting time. Let me get one more shot, Typhlosion going, but no one seems to have leveled up there. Mystery Gift. Garrett ended up instead. Currently shiny hunting full outs with it. You were hunting that last time. How many more phases have you got since then? I know you've already gotten a whole bunch of like phases on it. Garganacl really didn't do that well against the... Garganacl didn't do too well when it came to the actual Typhlosion raids. Remember, it had Earthquake. And Garganacl doesn't really do that much damage against Typhlosion. Only 6! Alright. I mean, hopefully you have better odds than when it was with you hunting Roaring Moon. 23 phases on Roaring Moon was a pain, but hope you get this one faster. Hello there, Omar. How are you doing? The wonderful, glorious Screamtail user Supreme, Omar. How are you doing? Hope you're doing very well. We're just, again, hatching the Cyndaquil. Cyndaquil, if you could say. So are those are those phases? Are those all Dunsparce phases, or are those phases that are Dunsparce and other shinies you just found normally? But also, guys, if you haven't done so already, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for more. You wonderful viewers out there, because I see that there are 9 of you guys watching and only 7 likes. Even Garganacle's Eevee even had Wide Guard on it. You're also putting a lot of faith in people to know what time to press Wide Guard. Because remember, the Typhlosion doesn't always use Earthquake at the exact same time every single time. It would have been a good thing to use. The problem is, people don't know the timing for it, everything. Yeah, that's a bit of a high timing sort of thing for that. 6 Dunsparce, Ultimate Shining Glamora, and Brute Bonnet. Very nice. Ah, so you're playing Scarlet then. I love the past Paradox Pokemon. They're all great. There's so many great past Paradox Pokemon. I still need to Shiny Hunt Brute Bonnet and Great Tusk. Yeah, Brute Bonnet, Great Tusk, and Slitherwing. Actually, there's 3. Or did I already get one of those shinies? Actually, no, thinking about it. Huh. Thinking about it now, I actually think I do still need 3 of the past Paradoxes. I thought I only needed 2. I guess I needed 3 of them. Yeah, Great Tusk, Slitherwing, and Brute Bonnet. Unless I already got Brute Bonnet, and I'm just blanking on it. So I don't think I got Slitherwing yet. Maybe I got Great Tusk. Huh. I'm gonna need to go check when I boot up Scarlet again. What guard is because they have nerfed looks like it literally only move it has again. We'll get the interesting. Right, yeah, Purifying Salt, that reduces the damage from ghost moves. But again, that's also mean that like only one person would use the Garganacl. But the thing is, that's also putting a little bit of faith on people to know when to use Wide Guard and understand how Wide Guard works. Even a lot of the competitive players don't really understand how Wide Guard actually works. So I think it's a bit of a fair assessment that most people may not have been using Garganacl for it. Yeah, it is a very good option for it, but it's one of those things where maybe not familiarity with it could lead to bad results. Still all the future Paradox Pokemon. Yeah, that's gonna be a struggle for you to get, Nafy. Do you even have Violet? You are missing the Yoko. Zango just uses Power Trap. Garg stops Zango from getting nuked by Eruption. You're right, Eruption's also a spread move, right. Yeah, that actually does work. That's actually really good. But more so what I'm saying is that, like, people probably don't know how Wide Guard works. Because remember, everyone wants to be the damage dealer. They want to be that one-shot DPS destroyer of things. Which is why most of the time people don't really like going support. That's why I generally use support when it comes to raids, because I know most people aren't going to do it. Yeah, I got Violet. I don't use it much unless I find a cool dual hunt. So that sounds like you're just choosing not to shiny hunt them. That sounds like a choice to not shiny hunt. Hello, Justin Castro, Mr. Green Shiny Hater Supreme. How are you doing, Justin? Hope you're doing delightful. Cyndaquil. I love how you can actually see, like, the fur on Cyndaquil now. I just realized that. Over to 5. Done the few streams in spite of the bugs and randos. It does work. I'm just trying to explain the guard. Yeah, that's the thing. The way people are, Thing is not the damage dealer. They immediately shut off. They want to be the one-shot damage dealer themselves. Generally, when it comes to the support options, most people basically turn their brain off with respect to that idea. They kind of just stop listening. Because they don't really want to use support. Because it's a very weird thing that it comes like, even though support makes things work so much better, most people do not want to actually use support. It's very weird. Very, very, it's like a weird mental thing. Justin, very nice. Justin Castro. Yeah, that's pretty much the entire reason why when it comes to support things, I never expect people in random lobbies to bring support. Because my assumption is I will bring support because randos will generally want to use damage dealers. It's just, I mean, granted, I prefer safe than sorry, so that's kind of my thing. Cyndaquil. Give me the shiny Cyndaquil already, game. We are well over odds on this thing. We are over odds and a half, pretty much. Yeah, we are over odds and a half by this point. More or less. Slightly under that. Slightly under that, by I think maybe like 20 eggs under double odds and a half. Under over odds and a half, not double odds and a half. Double odds and a half would be well into the 1,200s. I'm not looking forward to that. But I mean, as long as we get this shiny, like, quickly, I wouldn't be too mad. But I do want this shiny. Yeah, I very much enjoy getting my sparkles. I should probably turn on my replay buffer just in case I actually do get a shiny, so I actually keep the replay capture. Saying most of my mons are all pure support, mixed support builds. Everyone exactly. Hello there, Bidoof. Welcome in. Welcome in that dude as well. Yeah, that's the same way I am. That's why I have Grimmsnarl built. Is like, that's one of the reasons why when it comes to the Terror Raid things, I generally don't build damage. I just build support. Because when you have a support user, your survivability increases drastically. Like, 4 DPS versus a raid boss, and then 3 DPS, 1 support. The damage numbers are, like, the damage numbers as in the amount of damage you are doing is night and day. It's amazing. That's why I prefer to use a support Pokemon, just because, like, yeah, I just set up Misty Terrain for Grimmsnarl, set up screens, Spirit Break, Chilling Water. You do all the support stuff and things, and then you can pretty much, like, keep the others alive. Because so long as you keep the damage dealers alive, you're pretty much good. So I'm thinking of making my anti-trick room offensive. Interesting. Very interesting. But yeah, how is everybody doing today? Hope you guys are doing well. But yeah, so basically today's goal is just continuing to shiny hunt around the area while, well, around like the world at large, while we are Masuda hatching eggs. So, still haven't figured out where we're going to be hunting yet, because we've gotten a lot of shinies from most of the areas around the world. I guess the best place we could go is, like, the Badlands. Like that. I mean, I know it's not called the Badlands, but it's basically that place where you go fight the Steel Titan. Question mark Farigiraf. What should we be? I actually have never used a Farigiraf myself. But I'm pretty sure you're going to want to go, like, full HP on it. Yeah. I recommended the Farigiraf yesterday, and you said you don't because of Trick Room. Like, it's anti-Trick Room, though. You use the Trick Room to destroy the Trick Room. I think you'd probably want to go, like, full HP, maybe full defense. Misty Terrain is slept on as support, which is kind of fair. Debuffing Dragon damage itself, very niche. Safeguard, only for ground Pokemon, is also niche, but still not terrible. I mean, in Terror Raids, it's amazing. The thing is, when it comes to VGC battling, the reason why it is often not used is likely to do with you use Misty Terrain, but Misty Terrain also means you cannot status the opponent. So, again, it's a bit of a trade-off. That's why really the only time you would ever see Misty Terrain come into play is when Tapu Fini was in the metagames, because it just default sets Misty Terrain. Most of the time, you actually don't want Misty Terrain up because, again, you can status opponents. You want that ability to inflict status conditions, and having Misty Terrain kind of locks that out. In Terror Raids, it's phenomenal, though. Again, it gives you immunity to status conditions if you're grounded. Fantastic move. Which is why Grimmsnarl, #1 support, ladies and gentlemen. Hello there, Mudkip. How are you doing? Hope you're doing delightful, Mr. Lemons. Oh, did you watch today's episode of the Soul Link on JakeXY's channel? Terror rates, I've only ever seen it used outside myself twice. One of which was someone copying me after seeing my Igglybuff. Oh gosh, very, very nice. I'm pretty sure Omar would love to hear that story. Because Omar loves everything to deal with the Wigglytuff family. Let's get shiny hunting. What is the most... I got no clue, because I generally see the usage and, like, the validity of every single typing. So, I don't really have... I guess the only thing I could say is probably, like, normal. Because, like, normal has no offensive benefits. You know, it hits nothing super effective. It can only be neutral or resisted. Or outright immune in the case of Ghost. But, like, even then, it still hits basically everything for neutral damage. And it is only weak to fighting. So, I don't really think there is any mid-typing. I think that every single typing is very good in its own ways. It's just typings can be better or worse depending on what they're paired up with. No, Dark is fantastic. Dark is, like, competitively one of the best typings there is. Knockoff, immunity to Prankster. A lot of Dark types are actually fantastic. You know, Umbreon, Brick Wall of Doom. Grimmsnarl, it's frickin' Grimmsnarl. Murkrow, it's Murkrow. There's a lot of very, very, very good Dark types. Tyranitar. I would say Dark is very, very decidedly not mid. It is very good. Been watching Hunter x Hunter all day. Interesting. So Mudkeep has been watching the anime. So, fun story. I actually thought that yesterday was Friday. So I was just like, okay, tomorrow's episode. I was like, no, it's actually no. Today is Saturday. Today is Friday, because I thought that Thursday was Friday for some stupid reason. Psychic is like really very, very, very good because again, Trick Room users. A lot of the best Trick Room users are Psychic types. Fighting, I guess maybe fighting. But even then, there was a lot of, like, very, very good fighting types. Flying, again, like, there's a lot of very good flying. Granted, like, the flying types that kind of pull the weight of the flying type are, like, Dragonite, and, like, Dragonite, Salamence, Gyarados, and then, like, support users like Talonflame. Like, yeah, like a Murkrow. Murkrow support tech with Tailwind. Because pretty much, not exclusively, but mostly exclusively, you know, almost all of the Tailwind support users, those are almost all flying type. There are a few non-flying type Tailwind users. Prankster blocking is not applied to your ally. It's a fun way to use Lash Out Choice Band in Gen 8. Interesting. That sounds fun. That actually sounds like really, really, really fun tech. Your Lash Out is a really cool move. I'm wondering what they're gonna do with the Isle of Armor tutor moves when it comes time for this game. Are they gonna re-add them in this game's DLC, or are they just gonna like not have them? Because like you've put very good tech moves like Triple Axle, Grassy Glide, Corrosive Gas, Skitter Smack, Burning Jealousy. These are all really good, interesting support tech moves. You can't just take them out now. You have put the options into existence. You can't just take them away. But yeah, I pretty much think that almost every typing is actually very, very good in its own ways. The only time that really typings are considered bad is really when you consider them in the context of a full team and how well, you know, say I have 5 Pokemon, adding in the 6th Pokemon of this typing is really the only time where a typing can be considered not good. But because yeah, in most contexts, like types are all fantastic for their own individual reasons. Like ice types, yeah, you can say that ice types are just not good because of all the weaknesses they have, but conversely, look at all the amazing type matchups offensively that ice types have, especially now with the defense boost. You know, they hit the second most types for super effective damage. They cover some of the most threatening types for super effective damage. Basically, Prankster, Confide, Grimmsnarl plus Zarwar pretend to be a mon that isn't Dark type, but love pretending to be Gyarados because it gets both moves that already made convincing disguise. VGC was saved by Pokemon themselves. Machamp is a hidden ability, No Guard. If you No Guard, it does not check accuracy. Machamp happens to do it. Machamp cannot. You cannot have a Machamp that knows Fissure in VGC. Machamp could only get Fissure as a legacy transfer move. And even then, you could only get No Guard to Machamp with Fissure in Generation 6 and Generation 7. Prior to then, you couldn't get Fissure on Machamp. And I also believe that Oko moves work a little bit differently when it comes to No Guard. But yeah, you were never able to use a Machamp with Fissure in VGC. Which again, good thing. Yeah, the closest I've seen was... This was back in the days of Sword and Shield. I believe it was like Series 9. It was the first series where you were allowed to use the restricted legendaries. And someone had a triple Pokemon combo where it was No Guard Machamp plus Skill Swap Tornadus with Kyogre. So, they Skill Swap the No Guard off the Machamp onto the Tornadus. Then, they switch the Machamp out for the Kyogre, then Skill Swap the No Guard onto the Kyogre. So that way Kyogre can throw out, you know, perfectly accurate Origin Pulse, perfectly accurate, Sheer Cold, that was the other one. And, you know, it's a clever idea until you come up against things like, oh, Sturdy completely bodies that. And also, you make a lot of inaccurate moves now perfectly accurate against your face. Not a good thing to not a good thing to have. It's a neat idea, but the issue is the practicality is it only works once, because after you've seen it once, then, okay, just double focus on the thing, it's now gone. Yeah, it's a clever idea, but the issue is with VGC being a best-of-3s format, when it's revealed, it's very, very easy to capitalize on, well, you're going to do this is like your win condition, so now you'd have to do this. Well, I can just double into this, or I can just do this, and then you just kind of stopped. Yeah, I feel like a Dark into something like Gyarados probably is one of the better ones to do for a disguise, because you resist Bug, you resist Fighting. The only thing there is, well, yeah, you can get hit by Fairy moves, but like, most Fairy types have electric moves they would use anyway against a Gyarados. For Salmon Run later, rotation is Splattershot, Beluga, Squiffer, and Wild Card. Go Squiffer is Slosher. King is Sadly Koho. Sure. Depending on how stuff goes tonight, Mudkip, I would definitely be down for that. I'm always good for some Salmon Run. You just gotta help some people prepare for the Streamer Gym Leader Challenge, and I'll just, like, finish helping prepare their Pokemon, trade them over to them, and then I'll be up for that. Because I'm actually helping one of them was helping them right before stream started, and just basically, okay, getting them EV training and the moves on everything. Then I can just, like, send them back after this, but they take maybe, what, like, 20 minutes to finish the rest of the changes, and then I'll be good for that. So pretty much by 10 p.m. here, we should be playing Salmon Run. We should be playing some Splatoon-y things. Yes. Because, I mean, even that's assuming a 2-hour stream. Which, I'm not sure if we'll actually even do a 2-hour stream, because that's going to be a relatively long stream, considering I actually did take about a mile-long walk. Blah. Words are hard. Today, walking my dog, and, you know, again, just like me doing my own personal exercises. So, might get a little more tired out today earlier than usual, but that's like for stream, because I'll stream I can like still do stuff. First wildcard weapon. Nice. So, what can be part of the wild card weapons, Mudkip? Is it always going to be the Slosher, or is it going to be, like, a few different weapons? First single wild card rotation. Oh, first single wild card weapon rotation in Splatoon 3. Okay, that's what you meant. I was a little confused by what you meant for a second, and then I realized, oh, that's what it means. But yeah, so this is the area that I call the Badlands. I know it's not called that. It's probably called something else. Oh, it's just East Province Area 3. Yeah, I just called this area the Badlands because it looked like Badlands. Oh, it could be anything. So that means you can get your beloved Dynamo Roller, Mudkip. You could get your beloved Dynamo. Which, you better be picking Team Power. For the next Splatfest, you better not be betraying me and going to Team Courage. Okay, there's a chance of being a Grisco Slosher. Okay. Grisco Slosher is armor piercing, right? So that can one-shot the flyfish without the missile pods being open, right? Because it's like the Explosure, except it's like the Explosure, except it's an armor penetrator, right? I don't think I've ever actually used the Grisco Slosher outside of all Grisco's Big Run. Which, by the way, all Grisco Big Run was really, really fun, but also really, 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 really impractical. I'm picking Power as much as I like that blue. Good. Good, Mudkip. Embrace the power of the Dynamo Roller Ganon mascot. You know you have to do it. You know you want to. Yeah, I loved the all Grisco rotation because that was really, really fun. The only issue with it is that a lot of the ink efficiency for a lot of the Grisco weapons, other than the Blaster and the Brella, are garbage. So you really can't cover any terrain, which means, like, escaping is, like, just impossible, as well as the weapons are also, like, pretty heavy. Well, they have a high movement penalty, not really, like, they're heavy. They have a very high movement penalty. Still haven't found an Oricorio. Yikes, Jay. Can one of the mods please go grab J Games link as well? Okay, so it does penetrate armor then. Good. Does that mean it can hit steelheads without them inflating the Booyah Bomb? Or do they need to have the Booyah Bomb inflated for you to destroy them? Because again, I've only ever used the Grisco Slosher during Big Run, when it was all Grisco, and that was just all chaos. I still think my favorite of the Grisco weapons, it's probably the Grisco Charger, because it's an 8-shot rapid-fire charger. So that's really fun. Like, because that reminds me of the Dracon from Black Ops Zombies. And for those who don't know, in Black Ops 3 Zombies, the Dracon was a semi-auto sniper, which was used to basically delete all of the boss zombies like they were a massive freaking joke. And anything that reminds me of that absolute ability to clown on boss enemies is a good thing in my book. Because that thing was really freaking fun. God, that is one of my favorite things just to remember about Black Ops 3 Zombies, is before then, snipers were trashing zombies. And then Black Ops 3 came in and was like, nah, snipers are actually going to be pretty awesome, and they just became the greatest thing ever. And the shotguns, which were also trash beforehand. The Splatana is fun, but it's way too finicky for me. The Splatana requires skill to use Mudkip. That's its issue. If the Splatana was as brain dead as the Grisco Blaster or the Grisco Brella, I'd probably love it. But because you need to know the ranging, need to know the distance you have to be, and know the timing, it's a little trickier to use. Again, it's not brainless. You need actual brain plays. Which I lack. Because we know, because it's me. The Splatana, the Grisco Splatana feels like a thing where if you are a Dynamo roller main, or just like a roller player in general, that is a bit of a prerequisite to be able to use the Grisco Splatana to its fullest potential. Because there's a bit of a similar timing thing with it. I mean, I can kill Steelheads, but the Swiffer is better. And this logical feels the Swiffer is better. Fair enough. I was just meaning, like, if the person without the Swiffer is nearby, can they still joke them? What I mean is, like, do you need the Booyah Bomb to be inflated on the Steelheads for the Grisco Slosher to destroy the Steelheads? Or can you just throw it at a Steelhead and it just deletes them in the same way it just deletes Flyfish? I wonder how the FUD make a competitive Splatoon team. So you mean like a Pokemon team themed after Splatoon? Or you mean like you are a competitive Splatoon player? Because I feel with the competitive Splatoon thing, with a team in Splatoon, it's people that you're very well coordinated with. Because this is one thing I remember. I mean, not really the same kind of applicability, but one thing I remember from my days playing zombies, and like me and a lot of the friends like going for like a very consistent high round attempts, Easter egg attempts, was you need very good unspoken communication. You know, you need to be able to implicitly trust them to basically convey what needs to be done, like, you know, person coming this way, or I'm coming this way with an enemy from this direction. You basically, like, again, people you can communicate very well with, but communicate in very few words. I think that's probably what it takes for, like, Splatoon 3, like, competitive players, because it's the same with, like shooters in general. It's very good, very brief communication, because, again, it's just a little bit of applicability from what I remember from when I played zombies, was when we were running the Easter eggs on things like Origins, Horizon Drac, Shadows of Evil. We have these big, massive maps where there's all kinds of very complicated things to do, and, you know, bosses are just chasing you, like, at every turn. You know, it's things like, you know, I'm coming up from Horizon Drac, from the area, the crypt, where you get the magic bows, and I'm leaving the rocket test site. I'm getting, you know, like, coming from Undercroft, or heading to rocket launch, or, you know, running to, like, the church where all the big lab is, you know, running to church, you know, like, very short things to say where, like, oh, you know exactly what they mean. I think that's what you mean. Yeah, the other thing is, like, just the people who are good at playing. Good players, implicit trust, and good communication is what it takes for a competitive team on that. Again, it kind of like a little bit of an abstraction from, like, my zombies days, where, yeah, it's a bit of, like, you need to be able to communicate well very briefly. Ah, man, I miss the days of going on to Black Ops 3 Zombies, loading up something like Horizon Drac, and there was that one person who, right when the game starts, says, "I call the storm bow," and then, like, they run over to the bow as soon as it's done, will kill you, because this is one thing that people would do in that map. There was the church where you leave, where you go grab the bow and leave through the church. There was a trap that if you ran through it, it would kill you. And what people would do is, to stop other people from getting the bow they wanted, they would activate that trap to kill their own allies so they could go grab the bow they wanted. It's like, that is the ultimate dickhead move. And you know when someone did that, that is the person who no one is gonna revive. Because you don't sabotage your own teammates without them going to sabotage. Because then what they do is they just take the bow from you out of spite when you go down. Because that is a sign of a player who doesn't know how to actually do things other than use the storm bow. Which is why, like, they would just let them go down and just take it from them afterwards. The days of Black Ops 3 Zombies. That's why I would only ever play alone. I didn't want to deal with the people who do stuff like that. It's like, no. Then, or I just go for the Void Bow, because no one ever wanted the Void Bow. You send out skulls to attack the zombies. It was awesome. It made no sense. I mean, getting the Void Bow was a nightmare and a half, because it was stupid. You had to go collect a whole bunch of skulls and then do something with a bunch of symbols. Like, it was so stupid. But it was just cool watching all the skulls float around as they devour the zombies. It was awesome. Black Ops 3 Zombies. Freaking hell of a trip when it came to stuff. Like, I could describe the Black Ops 3 Zombies maps, and you guys would think no one would, like, they would not sound believable. Oh, that is a freaking... That was it. Wait. Is that a shiny Makuhita? That's a shiny Makuhita over there. Game. Don't betray me again, Cyndaquil. That is a shiny Makuhita over there. I see the red boxing gloves of Cherry Punchies. Where is it? There it is. It was indeed a shiny Makuhita. Oh, I love this. I love this. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe if you guys haven't done so already. We got a shiny. I love it. I love this thing. Really? Wait. Oh my... Covert Cloak is immune to knockoff! I just discovered something. It is a secondary effect of moves. That makes sense. The Covert Cloak gives you immunity to move secondary effects. So that means Covert Cloak takes priority. That's awesome. That's so cool. That's awesome. I love this. I love finding new things in these organic ways. I love this. Now get in the ball. Get in the freaking ball, punchy punch. And we got it. Let's go, everyone. What I thought was Pokemon we thought we could destroy competitive. What I thought was a Pokemon we thought would destroy competitive, but was choke. I have no idea what you mean by that dude. I think you need to do a little bit of explain. Timid. Alright. Now that is a lovely shiny right there. That is a lovely, glorious shiny. That is new. What's not cool is Makuhita broke it out of 3 Luxury Balls. I mean, it was full health. It kind of makes sense that it broke out of 3 Luxury Balls. Oh my gosh, this is perfect! Trick Room! Trick Room shiny! Let's freaking go, people! Wild Trick Room shiny. I'm saving this. This Makuhita is save. This is a Makuhita I am saving. That is absolutely amazing. That is one of only 2 shinies I have gotten that are Trick Room shinies that were wild. The other one is Metroid the... Well, is the spiritual successor to Metroid the Electros. And now we are saving like 3 times over because I do not want to lose that. I am super happy about this. So, Mon like Tinkaton we thought would kill competitively because crazy move. Honestly, the drawback of Gigaton Hammer is really not that bad. Remember, Gigaton Hammer just means you can't use Gigaton Hammer the following turn. You can still attack. So Tinkaton's actually quite good competitively because of that. Welcome in, Emmanuel Sanchez or Duna. Welcome in. How you doing? Welcome in. Again, if you guys haven't done so already, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. We just got an amazing Shiny Makuhita phase, and I'm super hyped about that. I knew coming here was a good thing. I knew coming to the Badlands area was a great idea. Toadscruel. Honestly, that's a really good ability on Toadscruel, James. Because remember, that allows it to bypass good as gold on Gholdengo. Like, Toadscruel is like the only Pokemon that can actually put Gholdengo to sleep, because Mycelium Might has precedent over good as gold, which is actually a really, really amazing ability. You know, the drawback is that you don't have absolutely do around attack. I mean, it's still enough to do like Gigaton Hammer. Even though it doesn't have the highest attack stat in the world, it still does a hell of a lot of damage. And really, Tinkaton is more of a good attack user that can do a stupid amount of damage more than anything. I don't like that meta get the Trick Room shiny. You never like it when I get anything good, Mudkip. You hate it when I get good things. Well, again, it is Mudkip, so like, it's Mudkip. It's the natural status of the Mudkip to hate what I enjoy. Back on. Its attack stat isn't terrible. I mean, you gotta remember that, dude. Talonflame has a lower attack stat than Amoonguss. And it's able to be a glass cannon attacker. So I think Tinkaton's perfectly fine. I think Tinkaton is sitting pretty right where it is. Let me actually do a bit of a stat comparison. I'm pretty sure Tinkaton is like 75 attack stat, maybe a lot, maybe more. And I'm pretty sure Talonflame is like 82. Like it can definitely pull out some work. It can definitely put in work. Let me go check. I'm curious now. Let me check this, actually. I'm actually able to know this. Let's see. Tinkaton. Let's check the stats on Tinkaton. Boxes. Tinkaton stats. 75. Yeah, I was right. It was 75. Let's go check Talonflame now. Talonflame. 81. Yeah. Tinkaton doesn't have a much lower attack stat than Talonflame did. So, I think Tinkaton is pretty safe when it comes to just being able to deal, like, fairly respectable damage. Because remember, its best moves don't cause recoil damage. Talonflames do. So it can actually, and also, like, it's fairly bulky. So it can actually still deal out pretty good damage without, like, really hindering itself. Pop quiz, what Pokemon looks... What Pokemon is this? It is a Pine Cone. That's Pineco. I'm not ranting. I'm just saying facts. I'm just saying it has a lower attack stat than Amoonguss. And Tinkaton doesn't have much different of an attack stat. I'm just speaking strictly in the statistic facts. Cyndaquil. So we are 220 away from 1,000. No, it has an 81 attack stat. It has a lower attack stat than Amoonguss. Amoonguss has a base 85. Amoonguss has a base 85 attack stat. Talonflame has a base 81. I am strictly speaking in the stat lines. It's just that's how, when it comes down to EV investments, right? Not in Soul Silver. Welcome in, Peanut Brother. Oh, what are you trying to shiny hunt in Soul Silver? Because we actually are going to be doing some shiny hunting in Soul Silver in the future. We are going to be shiny hunting Lugia in there. Yeah, 81. Yeah. The reason why it's able to do a lot of damage is because oftentimes it was either choice banded. That's kind of what really helps. It was that it's a choice band, which really makes, you know, it really helps the damage output it does. Not really. Its purpose was like kamikazeing with Bravebird, just as Maxwell Kane is saying, or Flare Blitz. It's literally, its whole thing was kamikaze banded. Yeah, its purpose was high recoil moves. Things like Flare Blitz, Bravebird. Tailwind is all it does in doubles. Yeah, you only ever see Tailwind Talonflame in doubles, and that was actually a much later invention. After they nerfed Gale Wings, it then started picking up things like Tailwind to supplement the speed loss. Well, not really speed loss, but like priority loss, which was much more of a Generation 7 invention. Yeah, it was basically always a choice-banded glass cannon kamikaze go and hit stuff. Because remember, back in Generation 6, the reign of the Megas were basically faster than just about everything else in existence, but Talonflame could out-priority them. And with a choice-banded Flare Blitz or choice-banded Bravebird, it would outspeed them because of either priority or natural raw speed, take them out of the equation, thus saving your other Pokemon for later. It was literally a kamikaze attacker. Yeah, the Tailwind thing was much more of a Generation 7 thing. After the change to Gale Wings meant that it had to be at full HP for the priority. So that way it would start setting up Tailwind, then it would Bravebird. That dude, do not say that. Everyone has their preferences when it comes to battles. Oh, most people actually play singles. Singles is the much preferred battling format by the general audience. Yeah, in general, singles is the much more popular format. Because for as much as I love doubles, and for as much as, you know, doubles is the official format, it is a lot more complicated. It is a lot more involved, and you do need to keep a lot more of your head on things. And, you know, not everyone really wants that kind of complexity for battling. You know, single battles relatively is more simple and straightforward. So it is pretty much why people prefer singles over doubles. Yeah, the vast majority of the player base goes for singles. Yeah, if you look at like the percentage of the player base that does doubles and does singles, it's like probably more than an 80% singles, 20% doubles. It's probably even less than that for actually doubles. Bravebird, Flare Blitz, Roost, Coverage, Move, Protect. Yeah. That'll really go like Swords Dance. Because it got Swords Dance back in those days, too. Maybe it still gets Swords Dance. Maybe it still gets Swords Dance. Remember when Tatsugiri? Yes, they were. Yes, back when Scarlet Violet first came out, they were pretty much top of the metagame along with Goldengo. Well, Tatsugiri, Dondozo, along with Goldengo, Murkrow. They were like the top of the metagame, and they were terrifying. Now they're just nothing. Like, you could write a 10-page dissertation on just the competitive variability of Tatsugiri and freaking Dondozo. Those things fluctuated so heavily in terms of just what we ran. Because, like, people would run Fairy Dondozo to beat other Dragon Dondozo. Then they'd start running Steel Dondozo to beat the Fairy Dondozo and the Dragon Dondozo. Then they'd start running, like, Fire Dondozo to beat the Steel ones. It just kept going in this just giant cycle. But now with, of course, the advent and, well, not really the advent, like, the more realization, like, oh yeah, Haze and Clear Smog are super dang good moves, they just really started falling. Yeah, again, that's the thing, the best RNG, is that they sort of were their own worst enemy in that how strong they were made it so people could just predict them on a freaking dime. And then they just became an absolute joke to deal with. Because, like, well, we know exactly what they're going to have to do. As well as a lot of, like, the actual counters to it. Things like, you know, Murkrow very naturally fit with a lot of other Pokemon. Because, like, with the rise of things like Bulk Up Annihilate and, you know, various other setup users, things like, you know, Throat Spray Sylveon, Throat Spray, Skeledirge, Quiver Dance, Volcarona, a lot of Pokemon that, you know, they really, really love these setup moves. You know, Haze Murkrow just comes in, snap gone. Yeah, Goldengo doesn't really do that well against Tatsugiri and Dondozo base, because, like, they both resist steel. But it's more so the fact that the natural pairing up of Murkrow and Goldengo does well. The battle in the front on Joe and Blue Devil destroyed a bunch of Parasite. A bunch of Parasite Murkrow. Does Murkrow get Parasite anymore? Or is that a legacy move? Was this VGC, or is this like Smogon OU doubles? Or Smogon doubles OU, not OU doubles. But anyone knows Thunder and Thunderbolt. Yeah, but it's not super effective on Tatsugiri. Tatsugiri is Water Dragon, so it is neutral to Electric. Also, Thunder... I mean, Thunderbolt probably would be okay for it. But I'm not... Well... It would hit opposing Murkrow. Maybe. That's an interesting thought wave. That's a thought wave right there. So, I mean, I'm pretty sure that I remembered Goldengo using, like, 90% of the time is just good. It's Make It Rain or to Shadow Ball. I don't think I really saw anything else. Also use Ceruleite's Fire Spin Ghost, meaning like, free switch. Also used Ceruleite's for Fire Spin and Ghost, meaning I could free switch. Well, you aren't trapped in when you use Fire Spin. You can switch out all you want. It just means that when you use a trapping move and then you swap out, they are freed from the trapping move. So you don't actually need the Ghost type to switch out there. The only moves that actually lock you into being in battle are Jaw Lock, which is exclusive to Dreadnought and now is also learned by Roaring Moon, and No Retreat, as well as Ingrain, which No Retreat is only learned by Phalanx, and Ingrain is a Grass type status move. Oh, if they trap you. So it was for Fire Spin and Ghost. Maybe. Well, I mean, they wouldn't be able to trap you. But yeah, Ghost does have that free switch. I like that they changed that. Yeah, the immunity to the Beam Lock. There's a few things about it I'm not a big fan of, because again, they can just free switch out of anything, but at the same time, it makes sense. Power Gem Goldengo, because kind of the fireworks. Do you run Specs Goldengo? Because I don't think a Power Gem on its own would take out fire types. Unless, like, Volcarona. I was always more partial to Specs Goldengo. Because I would always just run Tailwind Murkrow right next to it. So I don't need the Choice Scarf. He was like, why do I need Scarf Goldengo when I'm running Tailwind Haze Murkrow? I have to have one turn. I have to have one turn of using Make It Rain before Haze can be used, so I might as well just Tailwind anyway. Yeah, Life Orb I can definitely see as being like a very good thing. But the only thing I kind of have a little bit against Life Orb on is the gradual chip damage you deal to yourself. Because, you know, you are going to incur some damage as time goes on, just in case Murkrow dies, which it did. I had Altaria for another Perish Sun user. Oh my gosh. Oh, you, the best RNG, you strike me as the Perish Trapezumeral kind. You very much strike me as a Perish Trapezumeral user. Which is not my kind of thing. But I respect anyone who can pull off a Perish Trapezumeral. Like Sly Guy did in Week 1 of the Elite Battle League. Which was an amazing match that he did. Ooh. Yikes. That's how you know you really got someone steamed when they... See, that's why I love Flinch Hacks Togekiss. It's like, I know that I'm winning only because I have a 60% chance of shutting your turn down. But I don't care. That's just fine. Because Whirlpool Iron Bundle. Oh my gosh. Oh, Whirlpool Iron Bundle. That's so mean. That's such a mean thing to do. I love it. Like, silly things like that I love. Those are always the hilarious stuff. It's going to be 800 eggs hatched. They kicked me ass, maybe. Yeah, I have allergies as well, Kayla. I just take an allergy medication, and it still, like, bothers me in the eyes. That's the reason why, if given the opportunity, I would prefer to have a 6-month-long winter that immediately goes into summer, rather than deal with the absolute eye-destroyingness that is freaking allergies. Because allergies can suck an egg. I despise them. Every fiber of my being. Into the cave. Have I ever been in here before? Wow, why do they have that little thing right there? He started to target Murkrow, though, so many. He didn't realize you had another Perish user. Always fun when it's like, no, I just have redundancy built in. See, that's one of the reasons I always like building in a little bit of redundancy into my battle teams. Because you never know when something gets taken out, you can just, like, start doing a bit of the same thing again. Yeah, I don't like spring. Mostly because, again, I have some, you know, not great pollen allergies. And when my allergies kick it into high gear, I feel like I want to just curl up into a ball and just go into hibernation for the next, like, 3 months until the eye-itching weather passes. Until the plants just stop releasing the yellow powder of doom. Honestly, I don't like Murkrow because it's annoying bird. I mean, that's fair. I just like it because it's kind of silly that, like, Murkrow just does all these just hilarious things. I mean, granted, it is one of the best support Pokemon in existence. Priority Tailwind, Priority Quash, Priority Thunderwave, Priority Haze. It basically gets all of the things you could want in a support Pokemon, especially one that can utterly annihilate and destroy opposing setup users. Which I'm all for, especially, again, it's speed control, it's status, it's quash. Foul play. I mean, granted, foul play is... I mean, stab foul play is really, really, really good. I mean, you're doing a ridiculous amount of damage to even, like, special attackers that are, you know, Psychic and Ghost type. Really good. But it's like a real... I mean, it's not quite like that, like, Rillaboom for me, where I like Rillaboom as a Pokemon. I just hate going against it competitively because it's obnoxious. Mr. Jakey, my Jakey. Jakey. I mean, that is what Jakey does. That is the natural status of the Jakey. I have it, Parasong, Tailwind, and forget the other moves. Nice. Yeah, most of my Murkrow, they're always like Tailwind, Quash, Haze. Like, it's a box standard Murkrow. Which, I mean, when it comes to Murkrow, do you need anything else beyond the box standard? It's just that dang good. Murkrow. It's great. The funny thing is, I actually like it when they do that. That dude. Because the thing is, they don't understand why that team was originally built. When someone does that, they have no idea how it actually works. It's for the reason why when Seijin Park did the Pachirisu thing, after the fact, everyone tried to use a Pachirisu on their team, and it never worked. Because Seijin Park used it because it was the only reason it worked was because of his very specific team composition, as well as, like, the surprise factor of using a Pachirisu competitively when no one really thought it was worth it to actually study it that much. So, it threw opponents off. After people realized what Pachirisu did and how it worked, they weren't thrown off by it. So, it just didn't end up working again. It's kind of a thing that, like, its own usefulness kind of destroyed it, because by then people realized what it did, the surprise factor wore off, and then it couldn't do what it did anymore. Just on my phone. Yeah, I tried to use Pachirisu, but it was actually... Well, actually, it's not. Yeah, again, that's the thing about Pachirisu. It worked because on Seijin Park's team, well, both it was specifically designed to work on his team, and in other team compositions it realistically just doesn't work, but also, again, the surprise factor. You know, something is very much to be said for throwing an opponent off like that. You know, but again, after people realized what Pachirisu was able to do, and especially what his did, they expected it in the future, and so they kind of kept a cool head, realized, oh, you get these things, and you can do this, so double target into it, or, you know, just know what it's going to do, and it doesn't really work anymore. And again, guys, if you haven't done so already, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for more. I love when RNG goes my way or my opponent's way, but I hate freeze, either me or the opponent. See, I don't mind freeze because I generally have fire moves on a lot of things, because it's just a very good coverage move. And using a fire move or a move that can cause burn that is non-fire types, like Scorching Sands, Scald, Steam Eruption, I believe other than Tri-Attack, will automatically defrost you. That's also one of the reasons I really like best of threes, because in a best of three, freeze just doesn't work. You know, if you freeze someone one game, well, you can't game in, game out with that. You know, you can rely on something like Togekiss RNG. You can't rely on something like Freeze RNG from, like, Ice Beam. Why did they remove Frostbite? The only way to deal with Special Attack is Frostbite. Because they only added Frostbite in because they reworked Freeze. Remember, Freeze was gone in Legends. Frostbite is the replacement for Legend. Frostbite was the replacement for Freeze because with the differing speed mechanics, I guess I should say, that Legends had, they also reworked the way that Sleep worked. You know, with Sleep, you now had a chance of not being able to attack for a turn, you know, a turn here, a turn there, before you wake up. Which basically makes it the same thing as Paralysis, but I believe you also took more damage when you were drowsy. It was more so they changed Freeze into Frostbite to fit with the mechanics of Legends, rather than making it a permanent fixture. I would have preferred they made it a permanent fixture in the series, but I do ultimately understand why they didn't make it a permanent fixture. You know, it did make sense why they ended up not including it in the series. It isn't a cat. Indeed, he is not a cat. It's just a maid. Yeah, it is. Actually, what even is Indeedee? Yeah, Intimidate and Burn, followed by special. Yeah, I wish we did have a special version of Intimidate. Yeah, I mean, Intimidate kind of furthers a thing that I was actually saying for a long time and have, like, continued to always say, that special attackers are more or less default better than physical attackers, because, you know, we have Burn, you have Intimidate, which, you know, kneecap physical attackers, whereas, you know, there's really nothing that does that for special attackers. You have Snarl, but not really the same thing. You're like, what actually is Indeedee based? I know it's based on a maid. Well, maid and a butler, depending on the different ones. Based on Lars. Household deities of Roman religions that protect the house. The Roman religion. Protect the house for gratitude and worship. Lars are commonly in pairs, holding a Rita horn-like container. Depict satyrs, half-goat creatures with mythology. Also inspiration from brownies, household spirits of British folklore. The motifs, housekeepers, butlers, and maids. Yeah. Honestly, I really like what they did with Indeedee, and I like what they did with Indeedee. I thought it was a neat idea because, like, it's British. It's very British. You know, obviously, butler and maid. Makes sense. I thought it was pretty neat. Yeah, there's also Amnesia. Amnesia is special counterpart to that, which... Granted, a lot of there's a few non-psychic types. There's a lot of non-psychic types that learn Amnesia. Yeah, but I was meaning more like an ability that activates and then it debuffs special attack. There's not the same thing. There's not that for special attackers yet. Because it's designed to be support. Remember, the male form is more offensive. The male form is the offensive form. The female one is the defensive form. They've actually done something very similar like this before. Remember that. It's kind of the same thing that they did with Nidaking and Nidaqueen, where, like, the male form is the aggressive one, the female one is the defensive one. The funny thing is, like, they kind of inverted that with, Meowstic, where the female one has competitive, whereas the male one has prankster. So the male one's the support, the female one's the attacker. Which is interesting. But it's actually pretty much kind of the same thing they did with Nidaking and Nidaqueen. But you only ever use the female form. Because if you're going to use a psychic type, there's a million better psychic types than male Indeedee. But if you're going to use a support Pokemon, really there's nothing that does what Indeedee does. It's a psychic type that is immune to Ghost, is a redirector, well, is one of the few things that does get redirection. Psychic Surge, Helping Hand, a lot of good stuff that it gets. Huh, what do you mean, Eric? Yeah, you never use male Indeedee because it has a more offensive focused stat line, but I believe its speed isn't that great. Let me go check. Yeah, I think it's still a relatively slow Pokemon as far as, like, psychic types go, which doesn't really pair well with its bulk. Yeah, 95. That is pretty... 105 special. Like, that's why. Okay. Yeah. The reason why is it's for an attacker, it's only got 105 special attack. Not very high. The reason why it's so bulky, that dude, is because people just go all out in terms of its physical defense and HP, because you don't need to go for special defense in terms of effort value investment, because special defense is already very high as is. You just go for HP, go for physical defense, pretty much good to go. Mostly because a lot of the dark-type moves or bug-type moves you're going to be running into, they are physical, so it just gives it even more resilience against that. Why is Q-Fan's evolution based at 6-bit? It's not really that bad, the best RNG. It's just very different when it comes to other steel types. Because it's actually meant to be a bit of an HP sponge. You know, high HP, you know, not the greatest defenses, but high HP sort of compensates. I guess a good-ish way of thinking about it is like Wigglytuff, where, you know, Wigglytuff has a lot of HP, kind of defenses, but a lot of HP to compensate for it. Or Wailord actually probably is a bit of a better example for it. It just doesn't work as well. It actually has a fairly solid stat line, it's just that it's not the greatest. But I do like what they did with it. The only issue is that it's a very bad body press user, because body press is based on physical defense, which it doesn't have a terribly high physical defense. Despite actually being relatively quite bulky, it just doesn't have a good physical defense stat. But yeah, I think the main reason why they did that was they wanted to make it different from other steel types. Do you mean the only pure steel type that was introduced in Generation 9? Because there was a few pure steel types that were in Generation 9. They were just earlier editions. Pretty much, I think the best Hitmon is Hitmontop. I think, like, consistently, Hitmontop has been the most used of the three of them competitively. Because, like, Technician or Intimidate, fantastic. Fake Out, fantastic. Rapid Spin, fantastic. How you doing, Aiden? How you doing? And again, guys, if you haven't done so already, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Oh, and there's a few others. The Clink Clang family is there as well. Berserker's in the game as well. Yeah, Berserker, Clink Clang family. Actually, how many pure steel types even are there in existence anymore? I don't really think there's that many pure steel types. Yeah, but there were a few other pure steel types. There were a few pure steel types that were in Generation 9 as well. Competitively, the best one was Infernape. Consistently, Infernape was the best. It was the only one to be very heavily used in both doubles and singles. So that is a very, very simple answer of the best starter in all of existence, Infernape. I'm a little biased though, because I love Infernape. It is my favorite starter. Yeah, like, Hitmontop. It's more like Hitmontop has been, like, the most consistently used. Intimidate and Technician are two fantastic abilities. You know, it's more of a thing of Hitmontop just has a lot more versatility and a lot more usefulness compared to the others, because the others are, like, one is bulky, but not really the greatest damage output, and the other is, you know, good damage output, but not really a great move pool. So, like, the lower attack one has a good move pool, but not a great offensive stat line. Whereas the good offensive stat line one doesn't have a great move pool. But Hitmontop doesn't really focus on doing a whole lot of damage. It focuses more on basically being tech. Which is why Hitmontop has been consistently the best, because it doesn't need to do a lot of damage. It just needs to be there and annoy things. Which is great, because, like, it does that job fantastically. Yeah, I want to use a Hitmontop at some point. I've never actually used one, but I really want to. Because, like, it's a really neat Pokemon. And then, then in Scarlet and Violet, they actually gave it, not Scarlet and Violet, Sword and Shield, they gave it, like, Triple Axle, which, Triple Axle is an interesting move. Triple Axle works very, very interestingly compared to other multi-hit moves, because Triple Axle is actually unaffected by the loaded dice. Or at least, the way the loaded dice interact with it is actually different than other than other multi-hit moves. Because Triple Axel's multiple hits is actually based on accuracy checks, which is not how the other multi-hit moves other than Population Bomb work. That's why if you're using a move like Triple Axel, you want to have something with the wide lens on, so it's more accurate. Yeah, I mean, mostly I've never used Hitmontop because I believe in all of the Johto games, you don't get a Hitmon until you beat the game. Maybe you can get Tyrogue maybe you can get Tyrogue earlier, but I don't actually know. As well as, I mean, evolving it into, you know, the Hitmontop is just kind of a massive pain in the nads. Because you have to get the attack and the defense to be equal, which, that requires more than a little training. Hitmontop, I love the design. Perfection. I think it's like a very unique design as well. I really love the way it looks. There really isn't anything else that does look like a Hitmontop, and like, again, great design. I am so glad that they didn't go with Beta Hitmontop's design, because good God, Beta Hitmontop's design is complete and utter nightmare fuel. That thing should not have been allowed to exist. No, wrong one. There we go. Why is the Great Peanut Butter Sandwich number 17 in the Sandwich Guidebook? Why is it not number 1? It is legitimately the most useful sandwich of all of them. Pick goes in the thing. But yeah, egg power does actually speed up egg hatching a little bit, so it is useful to keep making egg power sandwiches. It takes like a minute to make an egg power sandwich, and within the first like 3 batches of eggs, you've already shaved off more than a minute of egg hatching time. So it's so worth it. Like, in total, you get like 8, maybe even more batches of eggs done. So you shave off a good couple of minutes, you know, per egg. Again, over time it does add up. Nope. You. Roly-poly. I still gotta get the rest of the Roly-Poly family. I love it, though. I am a fan of the Roly-Poly family. Most of that is because I actually do know Santino. And for those who don't know, Santino was the guy that used the Colossal to win the first Players' Cup. So it's like, I know the guy who did that. So it's like a little bit of bias toward Colossal for that reason. Because the little steam engine that could kind of makes me chuckle. It's a unique thing. Granted, the loss of Dynamaxing, Gigantamaxing really crippled Colossal, but it also means I don't need to deal with Dynamax weakness policy Dragapult anymore, which I think we can all agree is a good thing. You know, I will gladly have Colossal and Lapras take that bullet if it means no more Dynamaxing, period. And I think we can all agree with that statement. I mean, Lapras is still going to be really good when it... Top of their Pokemon. Spidup, Scorbunny, Scyther, Delibird, Hitmontop. Interesting. That is a very unorthodox list. I respect that. I respect that list. Yeah, mine is very, very basic. It's like, number 1, Metagross. Number 2, Togekiss. 3 is Heatran. Number like 4 is probably Infernape. It's like, it's the most basic list of just like, favorites there are. And it's like, I just like the list. I just like them. I don't care if they're the popular ones. I just like them. It just works. Though I am a fan of Delibot. I have a feeling if and when Lapras returns in the DLC, because I'm expecting Lapras will return in the DLC. Because, like, again, it's an icon of Pokemon. I don't think Lapras is staying out of the game forever. When Lapras returns, I think Delibird is Delibot is gonna have a little bit of a nosedive, and it's gonna drop down into OU for Smogon. Well, the only reason I know it's banned in Ubers is because a friend of mine, he plays singles, and he loves to run a very silly hyper offense electric terrain team using Tapu Bootleg the Pincurchin. He just likes to run it for silly reasons, and the one thing he needs is Delibot, and he can't have it yet. And it's like, don't worry, you'll eventually get Delibot back. Eventually, the Delibot will return. Because this is the thing that I'm predicting about the Paradox Pokemon when the DLC comes. All of the Paradox Pokemon are going to universally drop a little bit. Because when the DLC Pokemon come out, well, the DLC added Dex expansions are going to come out, a lot of the Pokemon that are not in the game match pretty well into the Paradox Pokemon. I think that the reason why a lot of those Pokemon were actually axed from the game temporarily is because they would have just ripped the Paradox Pokemon a new one, and removing a lot of their best answers lets the Paradox Pokemon shine. But when the DLC comes, the Paradox Pokemon are going to fall a few pegs, things are going to get a little bit more balanced, and Paradox Pokemon are going to be strong. They're going to be like on the strong side of things, but they're not going to be like super strong 'cause broken, like they to a degree are right now. Like again, Fluttermane is the single best thing in VGC at the moment. It is almost double the usage of the second place Pokemon, Chi-Yu, and that is saying something. But I have a feeling once the DLC comes, they're going to start falling. Well, they're going to drop slightly to heavily depending on the Paradox Pokemon. Because I remember like planning stuff with the SGL, you know, the streamer gym leader challenge, is a lot of the best Pokemon for monotypes just are not in the game. Like, you know, for Grass and Steel, Ferrothorn is not in the game. A lot of the best rock types are not in the game at all. Like, you know, Cradilly, the immunity to water is just not present, as well as a few others. And just like flying types, you know, the electric immunities for flying types is just not there. The, you know, electric resists, they're not there. A lot of the ways of dealing with other things, they're just not present. And that, I think, was very deliberate. Because they want to make the Paradox Pokemon have their moment in the sun, very apropos for the prehistoric Paradoxes, who of course the Photosynthesis, best ability, where they're going to be good, then they're probably going to fall a little bit because the other stuff's going to come back. Though I can see the future Paradoxes getting a little bit of a boost when Legendary. I can see the future Paradox Pokemon getting a lot better when Tapu Koko returns. Because right now, your only other terrain setter for electric terrain other than manually setting it is Pincurchin, who's not great. But Tapu Koko, pretty solid Pokemon on its own. It sets electric terrain, juices up your Quark Drive users. It might be a little useful. I think that definitely Tapu Koko is going to make the future Paradoxes a little bit more viable. But I know when Groudon... Actually thinking about that. Like, Koraidon, I don't really see the room viability-wise for it, because unlike Miraidon, it doesn't get a boost from its same type attack bonus and signature move bonus on the terrain, because, of course... Collision Course is a fighting move, it is not a fire move, which is not boosted by the sun, meaning, you know, Electro Drift is just an overall better move in terms of power, but also Miraidon has just a better typing combination, you know, Electric Dragon, fantastic typing. Fighting Dragon, not so good. But once we get Groudon back in the game, that is gonna really make a heck of a strong legendary restricted team for photosynthesis users. Which, as a fan of Groudon, I can agree with. Which is funny, because when I was actually a lot younger, I used to hate Groudon, because young Maxis used to be this way. My brother likes blank legendary Pokemon. I dislike that legendary Pokemon, and I like the opposite one. You know, if my brother liked Lugia, I liked Ho-Oh. If he liked, like, Moltres, I had to like Zapdos, but I mean, I still love Zapdos. If he liked Groudon, I liked Kyogre. He liked Palkia, I liked Dialga. It was only with Generation 5 where, like, that actually stopped. Which, like, yeah, we both like Reshiram. We both like Yveltal. Maybe we both like Solgaleo. Yeah, like, it was only after Generation 5 like we actually started agreeing on it, because we kind of grew out of that thing. But even when it came to starters, like, my brother liked one starter, I had to like the one that was super effective against it. Except for Gen 1, where I actually wasn't overly partial to any of them. But it was like Generation 3, you know, I like Swampert. Generation 4, I like Empoleon. There's always that. It's all good, April. It's all good. Y'all good. But yeah, now it's like, I'm looking forward to seeing Groudon Sun teams in Scarlet Violet, because, I mean, Walking Wake Groudon, that's gonna be a heck of a pair-up, because, like, Sun teams, well, then again, I feel Walking Wake is gonna become, like, the anti-Groudon Sun team. Yeah, like, I just realized that, yeah. No, that's going to be the anti-Sun team. It's going to be the Sun Killer. It's going to be great. I love it. Oh, trust me, this is nothing, April. This is nothing. We have over double this egg count when it comes to Froakie. So this is nothing. This is peanuts right now. $20 again. Really? Okay. I guess we'll maybe go through another box and then we'll call it a night. Yeah. Trust me, I've had some very, very bad luck with eggs lately. I've had very, 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 very bad egg luck. But that is why we keep shiny hunting, because eventually the bad luck needs to give out, and we need to have some good luck. But yes, there's been some bad luck, but we are overcome the bad luck. Yeah, trust me. There's yeah. So again. Let how much? Yeah. Okay, we still got 20 minutes left in our rank power sandwich. I don't know why I thought we didn't have a sandwich running. No, we do. Well, I mean, it is gonna mean that we were live for about 2 hours, which is always good. Again, nice long stream. The question isn't who we're gonna raid. That's the question. Yeah, we've had some fairly long Masuda hunts. Our Masuda hunts have always been either good hunts, but like they're very low number of eggs to get the shiny, or they've been just absurd, like this. So yeah, it's a bit of a mixed thing. But that is the Gambit lottery. That is shiny hunting, after all. You never know when you get something good, you never know when you get something bad, you never know when you get it quick, or you never know when you get it slow. That is the joy of the shiny hunt. But it is also the curse of the shiny hunt. Because like just today, we actually did get a shiny Makuhita. And it was an amazing shiny Makuhita. because it was a 0-speed Trick Room viable Makuhita. Because Hariyama has a very, very low speed stat, which, you know, Trick Room viability is always good. You know, I am a fan of you know, Trick Room viable shinies, especially when I don't need to breed them to be Trick Room viable. Because that's more satisfying. The wild-caught Trick Room viable ones are always infinitely more satisfying. But again, if you guys haven't done so already, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for more. One shiny today, shiny Makuhita in the wild, but hopefully we will get this thing today. I doubt we will, because Cyndaquil is a bee in a shoe. I think this is the last one of this batch. Maybe not. Maybe it's not, though. But yeah, I'm thinking in the next few days we have to get at least one of these things. Because we still need 2 more. This is only the first one. Because we're doing a shiny living deck, so we need the Typhlosion, the Cyndaquil, and the Quilava. Yes, that is the last one of that batch. Tick that over to 845, not 445. And I just realized it actually is 8:45 right now where I am. So, for once, the timer matches the egg counter. Nice. Hello there, Sheepo Floofs. Beep beep, Sheepo. Ampharos is a good Sheepo. Probably my second favorite Pokemon in the entirety of Johto is Ampharos. It's such a good Pokemon. It's such a nice and friendly Sheepo. I mean, Heracross also. There's a lot of great ones that Johto added. Like Heracross, awesome. Ampharos, awesome. Tyranitar, legendary. Houndoom, good doggo. You know, Feraligatr, great. Love Feraligatr. Scizor, awesome. Typhlosion, awesome. I may not like Wobbuffet that much, but Wobbuffet at least is amusing. There's a lot of awesome stuff that Generation 2 added. Like, it's a shame that Gen 2 gets, like, kind of criminally thrown under the bus. Because, like, Gen 2 is a bit in, like, that same vein as, like, Generation 5, where there's the great ones and the not great ones, but the great ones are really damn good. There's a lot more than people like to give credit for. Like, there's a lot of great ones in Gen 2. Even excluding the legendaries. Shiny. Dang it, I was praising Johto game. Give me my shiny. Also, love the sheen on Cyndaquil with the rain. I love that. Oh, Marie. Beep beepo sheepo. It's a Maripo the sheepo. Also, shout out to Sheepo, the Mega Ampharos, from the Soul Link 2v2 versus I'm doing with It's Really Timmy B, Jakey XY, and the one and only Mr. Sly Guy. Ah, that's fun. That's fun. I'm so glad that was my route. That was my Route 1 encounter in that file. No, Route 2. No, Route 2 was the Ampharos. Freaking Mega Ampharos that early in the game. That's gonna be fun. Actually, right, today's Friday, meaning we're gonna have some more recording to do of that tomorrow, which means more editing for me for Tuesday. That's not gonna be fun, but it will at least be good. I mean, it's a good series to record, which means I need to clear out some storage space on my computer then. But yeah, for those who don't know, in my episode of the episode 2 of the recording, my computer ran out of storage midway through, so I had to turn off the recording, turn it back on, and resync up all the times. All because I forgot to clear storage space on my computer before we recorded. Very smooth brain moment. Very smooth brain moment. But that's why tonight, after this ends and I'm playing Salmon Run with Mudkip, I'll just be going through my files, deleting old PNGs for title cards that I don't need anymore. Because you never realize how many files you just accumulate as you're making thumbnails for videos. It just accumulates. Like all the PNGs I need to save on my computer to make, you know, thumbnails I don't need anymore. I can just go delete that, delete that, delete that. And then by the time you're done, you realize, wow, I've just freed up like 200 gigabytes of space. Granted, that's why I wanted that terabyte hard drive expansion for Christmas, which I never actually got. I never bought that. That was on me. But yeah, that's the one thing you never really realize when you make stuff until you get that first instance of your computer is out of space. Is you never realize just how much storage space it eats up on your computer. It really eats up storage space. Like, again, all the videos. Which is why you have to empty your recycle bin like very frequently. So you have to get 13 minutes left. Yeah, I try to make it a habit of like clearing my storage, my PC space out. But with 3 ongoing series, actually 4 technically. Because Let's Go is still technically an ongoing series. We just have to do the Master Trainer now. That's a thought. I could do Master Trainers on Monday. So I guess I could do bonus videos for the Master Trainers on Monday. Make that a 1 week, 1 day, like a daily Monday thing. That's an idea. Yeah, that's an idea. That's the play. That is the brain play. Is to make it like sequential, like every Monday. Every Monday is gonna be Master Trainer Monday and Let's Go. Because that's really the last thing we have to do in Let's Go. Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee is just beat all the Master Trainers. Which, there's like 140 of those. Actually 146, I believe, we have to actually beat. There's a lot of them. Yeah, the one good thing Jacob as always did. It introduced me to many, many friends. I'm not joking. We like to riff on Jakey. We like to riff on Jakey, but Jakey is a friend. We just like to riff on him, for those who are new. It's kind of an in-joke among all of us. Here we go. I think that's the last. Yes, that is the last of this batch. 60. Oh no, that's 55. That's 55. I already ticked the counter up. Yes, that was right. Yes, that is the correct counter number. Because then after this will be 900. Hello there. I will horribly butcher that name. Can I call you Vi? Because I don't think I would be able to pronounce that name correctly. But welcome in. Thank you very much for popping in. And again, guys, if you haven't done so already, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for more. We have been on an absolute roll lately with content growth, and we are so close to 2K subs. Like, this close. You're this close to 2K subs. You can't see how close it is, but like, they're very close together. Yeah, we enjoy Jakey. We enjoy riffing on him, but Jakey is friend. Jakey is very friend. But yeah, tomorrow we are definitely going to be passing 1,000 eggs. Well, actually, wait, no, tomorrow's Breath of the Wild Saturdays. Yeah, tomorrow is BOTW Saturdays. Which is fun. So we're going to be... So tomorrow, for those who are actually new, we play Breath of the Wild, Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, every Saturday. We are almost done with our 100% run of Breath of the Wild. We want to finish Breath of the Wild before Tears of the Kingdom comes out. And we are not just going for any regular old 100%. We are going for the true 100% run of Breath of the Wild. That means all shrines, all upgrades to armor, Hyrule Compendium, all side quests, aside from the DLC ones, those don't count. All things of the Korok seeds done. Every location on the map. Yeah, we've done almost all of those. We actually finished the map. We have finished the side quests. We have... All we really have... We finished all the Korok seeds. All we have left to do now is finish the Hyrule Compendium and finish upgrading all the armors, really. We're getting close. I was saying we would. Yes, exactly. We love both of the Jakeys. Even if Jacob, as always, drives us slightly crazy, we still love Jakey. But it's very hard to beat Jakey XY's enthusiasm for everything. Like, I am so glad I joined the Elite Battle League. Because, like, I never would have met Sly Guy. Well, I mean, I already knew Sly Guy beforehand, but I got to know Sly Guy a lot better because of it. I got to know, you know, Timmy B much better because of the EBL. Met Jakey XY. And just, like, all around met a whole bunch of just awesome people because of the EBL. So it was like, yeah, no, it was great to meet those guys. There we go. Now we are at 6. We are at 860. But yeah, overall, like, the EBL was just a great thing. I'm so glad I was a part of it. And I'm still going to be doing the EBL Season 6 and Season 7. Because next season is going to be Season 6. But also, between Season 6 and Season 7, we're also going to be doing something new in the EBL, Little Cup. Yeah, Jakey XY is British. He is the British one in the group. See, in the Soul Link, it's 3 Americans and 1 British. Though I'm on the team with the British. Yeah, I just love how in all the preparation for the Soul Link with Timmy and Sly, they were joking how, like, Jakey was gonna be the cause of the deaths for our team, and that Jakey was basically gonna be, like, the one messing up. I was like, no. Jakey is the only one on the team. Jakey is the only one in the entire Soul Link who has not lost a single Pokemon yet. Ah, so you also know the pain of the Overrod Cyndaquil hunt, Vi. Yeah. A lot of our Masuda hunts have gone over odds. Froakie has gone over triple odds. Rowlet has gone heavily over odds at this point. Charmander's gone over odds. Like, basically all of the Masuda hunts we have done, other than Fuecoco, Cinderace, and Hisuian Zoroark, have been big time over odds. And I'm really, really hoping we get a nice, good, easy under odds one. Especially considering we need to shiny hunt 8 shiny Eevee, and those are almost all going to be done via Masuda method, because it's really the easiest way of getting shiny Eevee. Really? You must have had very, very good luck with your previous shiny hunts, Vi, and I wish I had that kind of luck. Yeah, also, casually over here with 630 Dynamax adventures for Shiny Ho-Oh. Still haven't gotten the Shiny Ho-Oh yet. Ah, Shiny Ho-Oh, you... Shiny Ho-Oh. Shiny Ho-Oh physically hurts me with how that hunt has gone. But I also can't complain too much, because I know definitely not Alan is still at 23 times over odds on his Dynamax Adventure Mewtwo Shiny Hunt. Yeah. We know a couple of people who have some pretty aggressive over odds hunts. And that's, again, that's the thing about shiny hunting that I love and I hate. Is you get good luck with some of them. You also get really bad luck with some of them. And you never know which one it's going to be until you finally see those sparkles. Spent 3 hours looking for an Eevee outbreak. Got one, but it didn't spawn any. Yeah, Eevee outbreaks are something else. That's why I'm going to be doing a Masuda hunt for it. Like, the only other thing I think I would ever do for a shiny Eevee hunt is do a shiny hunt for Eevee in Legends But me, being the guy that loves to get my shinies in luxury balls if possible, I kind of don't want to do that, because I kind of want to get them in luxury balls. Person Andreas' subathon gave me their extra shiny Ashwa. Oh, that's so nice! That's such a nice thing to see. This is why people are nice, Kayla. Sometimes people can be nice. They can do nice things like here's extra spare shiny. My biggest worry when doing these Masuda hunts is I'm just gonna get like 3 shinies in a single box after going like 2,000 eggs with nothing. Yeah, we were hunting Espeon like a few weeks ago. We went like 4 sandwiches, no shiny Espeon. I actually do know the spot where we're gonna hunt it, but I'm waiting for that to get another one. I'm waiting to get another Espeon outbreak, but I know that there was a place I got an Espeon outbreak, and that even with regular psychic sandwiches, it actually spawns pretty well. And that is, it was like right here. Whole bunch of Espeon just spawned here. We did 4 sandwiches, we did not get a single shiny. But that's just the way the game goes. Eventually we'll get back to doing it. My worst hunt I've ever had was 10 sandwiches before I got my shiny Karkadet. That was my worst one. Yes, I use picnic resetting. I do a picnic reset. But yeah, we already have shiny Vaporeon, and I know because of Athena, she told me a good spot to hunt Jolteon. So basically my plan is to try and eliminate the Eevee evolutions as I go, but I know some of them are a bit tricky to get. I mean, also, in the course of my Dynamax adventures for Shiny Ho-Oh, if I see a pathing that involves Flareon or Jolteon, I will make a beeline straight for that, because like, I want to try and get that shiny check-in. Nice. Yeah, everyone is a bit different when it comes to their shinies. Like, I've gotten a whole bunch of shinies, like, super quick. I've gotten way more shiny Lechonk than I really want. Most of them were legitimately the first spawn after I had a normal type sandwich running. Like, I was hunting for shiny Azurill. Did a normal encounter power sandwich. Boom! Shiny like Lechonk right there. Shiny hunting Swablu. Normal encounter power sandwich. Boom! Shiny Lechonk. And then it's like the same trend basically continued. But yeah, that's the thing of shiny. You get some you get really fast. Like, we got shiny Hisui and Zoroark when we were Masuda hunting in 10 eggs. 10. And I was drinking water when it happened, and I almost like choked on my water when that happened. I was just so surprised. But then you get, you know, shiny hunts like this, like the Froakie, where we're 3 times over odds on that and still haven't gotten the shiny. I just release the Cyndaquil every batch, so I don't need to spend hours. Yeah, normally I do the same thing, but because I'm in stream, I don't do releasing on stream anymore, especially since I'm also running egg power sandwiches. You know, because like releasing during a stream isn't like the greatest thing for pacing, but I do agree, releasing them after you batch hatch is the best thing to do. At least until we get, you know, Pokemon Home, where you can just slap them into Pokemon Home, hit delete, and they're gone. But yeah, honestly, the way that you do that, Vi, is the best way of releasing extra Masuda hatches. That is what I used to do, but when like it's on stream, it isn't the greatest for pacing reasons. So I do it off stream now. Again, when we get home, it's gonna be gone. Do you use it? Yes, I do egg power sandwiches to help hatch them faster. That is a recent thing I've started doing. Because until like 3 weeks ago, I didn't even realize how much it actually helped. Because I'm very much into like the numbers behind everything. You know, how much does it speed things up? And then I looked at a lot of them and was like, holy crap. This shaves off like a quarter of the hatch time. Why was I never doing this before? I can hatch like 5 batches of eggs in the time it takes me to hatch 4 batches of eggs. This is insane. I'm an idiot for not using this. So now I start using them. You get a lot more eggs. But yeah, I think that this is going to be our last batch of eggs for the day. Because I do have to help some people prepare for the Streamer Gym League Challenge. But we will be live again tomorrow with Breath of the Wild. Shiny Reaction compilation is also going to be going up tomorrow. Basically, it's going to be last month's Shiny Reaction compilation. So if you guys haven't done so already, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. But before we end off, I would like to go on a raid. Or as we like to do over here, a mechanized Maxis raid. Who should we go raid? There's someone we have not raided in a long, long time. Let's go find... I want to raid someone we haven't raided before. Well, I mean, have raided before, but haven't raided in a long time. So let's go find someone. Oh. Zeddy Boy is doing... Zeddy Boy is doing some battles with viewers. I'm gonna have to go check that out after. I could raid Tinier, but Tinier's not doing Pokemon. Let's go raid the Pink Dungeon. We have not raided them before. Let's go raid them. Yes, we know Zed Games. Zed is actually a very good friend of ours. We're gonna go raid the Pink Dungeon. We've never raided them before. They are a relatively small creator, and we always love sharing the love. Well, I'll see you guys next time. Let's rock and roll up.